Okay. Okay. So here are the 7 types of questions that you could be asked during IELTS speaking test part 3. First is opinion. For example, the question could be, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? It's asking for your opinion, right? And you have to remember to say why you think that way, and you have to give examples, right? Okay, you have to answer, explain your answer, give examples, and show the opposite side if you like it. The second type is evaluate, kind of a question. So the question could be, what do you think about someone else's opinion? What do you think about people's opinion who think this way? Okay, just evaluate their opinion. And it can be also about future, like what do you think will happen in future? Okay, about this or that. Like what do you think how the technology will influence normal social communication in future? Okay. Question about cause and effect. For example, what caused this and or that? Well, what effects has it on this or that? Okay, so cause and effect. Like what kind of bad or good influences can current technology have on young generation? Okay, cause and effect. Hypothetical situations. Okay, so like conditionals, second and third conditionals. Talk about imaginary or unreal situations using, this is about already grammar check also, the second and the third conditional. Compare and contrast. Talk about difference and or similarities between two things, like what is the same, what is different. You have to compare here or contrast. You're using degrees of comparison that we have discussed today, or you can contrast by using certain words like however, nevertheless, but, and so on. And of course, about past, like how were things different in the past and how have they changed? For example, it could be a question about marriages, okay, weddings in the past, let's say 100 years ago, and the weddings now, what traditions we had, what we have now. So you can compare and you can speak also about the past. And here you are tested on some past tenses like past simple, past perfect, past continuous, and things like this. And also used to when it was fact in the past, but it's not a fact anymore now. Okay, let's go into each question one by one. Okay, so opinion questions. One thing you should not do is start every sentence with I think. You can say I think 1 or 2 times, but not all the time. Okay, or in my opinion is also a very simple word. I mean phrase. The IELTS examiner will be looking for how you vary your language. Okay, so below here you can see on the screen ways that you could use in order to express yourself differently and to vary your speech. You can start your answer like this: as I see it, or personally, or for me. Okay, instead of saying I think or in my opinion, say as I see it, and so on. If you feel very strongly about something, you could use these things. I mean, if you agree really with that point, say, I'm convinced that, yeah? So, or I'm certain that, I know for sure, okay? Or I'm sure that, if you're definitely sure that you agree with it completely, you can use these expressions. And if you are less sure, you doubt about it, okay, about the opinion, you could give a weaker opinion by using these expressions. I guess that, I believe that, okay, I suppose that, I'd say that, okay, so these are really giving some impression that you are not quite convinced in it. Okay, so if you're convinced, you use these expressions. I'm convinced that, da, da, da. If you're not sure, you can say, I guess that, I believe that, I suppose that. Okay, so any questions about this opinion question type and the vocabulary?
Oh, it's understandable.
It's understandable. Okay, so
yes.
today you will try to do, you will try to use at least one or two from this list when you're expressing your opinion, when I ask you some question. Second is evaluate type of question. And this kind of a question, you will be asked what you think about someone else's opinion. It's not about your opinion. It's about how you evaluate other people's opinion. We'll therefore need to use expressions that allow us to agree or disagree. Okay. For agreement, when you say that you agree with someone, you say, I couldn't agree with you more, or with that opinion more, or with somebody more. It's already so it's a very word for word translation. Okay. So, but if you say, I couldn't agree with you more or with somebody more, it means I completely agree with you. Okay. I don't doubt even a little bit about it. That's so true. Agree. That's for sure. It has that. So that's exactly how I feel. And no doubt about it. I suppose so. So, but it's a little like I agree with you, but a little bit doubt in my agreement. Okay. So you feel it. I guess so. I suppose so. We could say. So they have a point there. You have a point there. It means I agree with you in this part. Okay, you have a point there. So all of these expressions you can use when you try to say that you agree and you are given a question like, what do you think about his opinion, not your opinion? Somebody says so, what do you think? You agree or disagree? And you use these expressions when you want to agree. And the disagreement is about these expressions. I don't think so. Here it was, I couldn't agree with you more. That's so true, and so on. And here you say, I don't think so. I'm afraid I disagree. I totally disagree. I beg to differ. It's a very polite way to say that you disagree. In Russian, you have such an expression like «Позвольте не согласиться с вами». I beg, умоляю, to differ, kind of like позволять. I beg to differ means differ comes from the word different. So it is very polite way to say let me not agree with you. Okay, I beg to differ. I'd say the exact opposite. So not necessarily. So I don't agree with you. So that's not always true. So that's not always the case. Okay, so it's not always the case. Okay, so these are all about agreeing or disagreeing when you're asked a question like evaluating somebody's opinion, whether you agree with somebody's opinion or disagree. Clear this part?
Yes.
Good. Next is future. So you're often asked to predict how a certain topic will change in the future. For example, the technology, how it will influence the relationship of normal people. For making future predictions, we normally use will plus verb in infinitive form. However, this is quite simple, and the examiner will look for your ability to use different structures for expressing yourself, your idea in future. And the structures to predict the future. More complex structures could include these ones, like something plans to, or it is predicted that, Kan gaat het om een woord. Something intends to, for example, technology it intends to develop even more, and it could da, 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 da. I foresee means I predict. Okay, I foresee. It is foreseeable, the same expression in passive form. Kan gaat het zie, so the passive form, like you are drifting it a little bit far from you, right? Because you don't want to be directly involved in it, and you're kind of saying something, but you are not directly involved in it. Okay. Conditionals like if something if technology develops in this way, so it will so first conditional could be used here. Or in the second conditional, you can also use imaginary situation. If technology could develop in a way that everyone can do the work from home, not going to the office, it would be a tragedy for everyone, for the improvement of communication between people from the point of view of social communication. Okay, because they will start only communicating using the internet, the online applications and things like this, and they will lose their normal communication habits. Okay, something like this. Second or the first conditional could be used here. It is likely that, possible, kind of likely, or it is probable that, the same. It is unforeseeable that, that's foreseeable, unforeseeable. I envisage, same as I foresee. So I foresee, I envisage, or I predict. Okay, envisage is also used for that, to talk about the future. So these are really very useful expressions that you can use in order to start answering to the question, but of course you shouldn't forget about the later process of explanation, giving examples, and so on. Okay, questions about the future?
No, I don't know any questions.
Okay, later you will have the opportunity to go through it as a homework, okay, and try to memorize them. Next one, cause and effect questions. Okay, so you may also be asked to discuss what has caused a certain situation and what effects this has. This language will also help you in IELTS writing task 2, by the way. So to talk about cause and effect, you can use this words like because, as a result, resulted in, as a consequence. Partly we have discussed them already. Due to, caused. Yes, led to means that. Okay, these are just some examples and you have to improve them. Next one, hypothetical questions. This is about imaginary situations like the second and the third conditionals. The second conditional is used to talk about unreal condition in present or future, or impossible situations like if I were invisible, I would do, I don't know, I would rob the bank. Okay, because no one would see me. Okay, you might get asked a question about an unreal situation. So, for example, if you were mayor of your city, what mayor, you know?
Yes,
what would you do to improve it? Yeah, so you see, it's a second conditional. You are not the mayor. It's not likely that you can be, but possible, but very unlikely. Okay.
Yes.
And they are checking your grammar at the same time, how well you can use the second conditional in the context when you're explaining your answer. Okay. If plus subject, past participle, then subject to plus would plus verb. Okay, so this is second conditional form. If you could choose any country to live in, where would you choose? If I could choose any country, so I would choose Okay, clear here?
Yes.
Some imaginary situations, hypothetical questions. Okay, next one is about comparing and contrast. Comparing where, you know, degrees of comparison are used. We discussed it today. And contrast, like although, like but, nevertheless, however, words like this. So to compare two things, use comparative adjectives. Like here you can see, this is whatever we discussed today. So I guess there is no need to go through again. It's easy, right? And next one, number 7. So it's past tense questions. We may use the present perfect continuous also to talk about something that started in the past and is still going on. They have been, for example, they have been developing the CD center for the past 5 years. For this tense, we use the structure have, has plus verb, been plus present participle plus ing. Okay, verb plus ing. This is present participle. For example, how long have you been doing something? So you started doing it in the past, and you are still doing it, okay? So in this case, you use present perfect continuous or present perfect as you like. Used to is used to talk about something that happened in the past, and it was a fact for the past, but it's not actual for this moment, okay? So it doesn't exist anymore. For example, people used to use radio a lot, but they don't do it now because they have other sources for information. Okay, the technology improved, developed, and we have many other sources. By the way, this one maybe could be new for you. Would plus infinitive to describe past habits is the same as used to. For example, I used to drink a lot of coffee, or I would drink a lot of coffee. It's the same.
I would drink.
I would drink a lot of coffee. It's about describing past habits, not present, the same as used to, okay? It was a habit for me in the past, but it's not anymore. The same function.
But when we say I would
like is something else. It's not would like. I would like is would like to do something. It's a fixed expression, which means I want to do something. But this is would plus just infinitive, any verb you want to talk about your past habits. I would, I don't know, I would, but it's not true about me. I would bite my nails. It means it was a habit in the past, but I don't have it now, okay? I would wear long skirt.
Okay.
Okay, but now I don't like it. I like short ones, okay? Okay, next one, past simple to talk about things that you did in the past or somebody did in the past that you no longer do. Okay, no connection with the present moment. In this case, you use past simple. Past continuous, an action that was in process in the past at a certain moment in the past. Okay, so for example, how you felt at that moment in a particular moment in the past. Like I was I was reading something when you found me. Okay. And past perfect to talk about something that finished before another past action. Okay, it's past of the past. Like when you came is past. I had already finished my work. I finished before you came. First, I finished, then you came. It's about past perfect. Do you understand this point?
It's more complicated.
It's more complicated. Okay, so let me see. How can you say yes du insan geçir, yes arten artnacelei?
When you were calling me, զանգեցիր։
Չէ, զանգեցիր, չէ, վերջացած գործողություն է, ասել this is past simple. When you, let me do it this way.
Had called.
When you called me.
Oh, called.
Yes, զանգելուց առաջ, այսինքն առաջ ես ինչ էի, հիմա ինչ եղավ, ես առաջին, որ գործողությունն էր առաջին, which action was the first? Calling or waking up? What was the
calling.
first?
Calling. First calling, երբ դու զանգեցիր։
Երբ դու զանգեցիր, ես արդեն արթնացել էի։ Ուրեմն ո՞րն է ամենասկզբունքը։
Okay, բան գործողության մեջ։
Գործողության ժամանակի մեջ ո՞րն էր ամենաառաջինը տեղի ունեցել։
Ես արթնացել էի, հետո դու զանգեցիր։
Այսինքն առաջինը, որը կատարվել է, ինքը past perfect է լինում, որովհետև ինքը ավելի շուտ է եղել, քան մեկ այլ past գործողություն։ Այդ է past perfect, okay? When you called me, I
already wake up,
woken up.
Woken up.
Do you have problems with irregular verbs?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me add this to our list, and we could possibly one day discuss also this one. Just a second.
I think that this is simple. I already must learn it.
Yeah, you have the list and you are learning, but however, I can write it.
Yes.
I can write it in the list of your weak points so that we don't forget about it. Wake, walk, walk-in, the third form. Okay, so here we have already 14 points, and this will be irregular verbs. Yep. It's good when we have the list, and here I commented on each of them next to them. So which we discussed, which we didn't discuss yet these points. Okay. So, and when you're making new mistakes, I am adding them here. Okay. So let us go on. So past perfect is when something happened before another past action finished happening. Okay, tell me another example of past perfect. How can you say երբ դու զանգեցիր? Երբ դու եկար, ֆուտբոլի մաչը արդեն ավարտվել էր.
When you came, the football match had already ended.
Had already ended. That's right. Because the first action was ending the football match, and the second was coming. So when you are talking about past perfect, first of all, you have to think what happened, what was the action that happened the first. So this is the answer to your question, the one that happened the first. So it is past perfect. The other one, the second action that happened after it. So it's past simple. Okay, great. So it means when you're asked questions about the past, you can use all of these tenses, all of these forms, like used to, would plus infinitive, past perfect continuous, present perfect continuous, anything that is connected with the past. Okay. So, and here is are the questions that are connected with these 7 points. Okay, one question on each type. So as we don't have a lot of time today, we'll finish a little bit earlier today, maybe 5 minutes earlier, so that I can manage to go to the next lesson. But I would like you now to read these questions and to tell me what type of question it is.
What are some of the ways people can help others in the community? Some of the ways people can help others. What I should do.
So there are 7 types of questions. Yes. What type is this?
What
type of question is this?
Oh, what are some? Okay.
This is opinion, right?
Okay.
Opinion
I think that
question.
I should answer it. Okay.
No, you shouldn't now. We are just discussing like
Okay.
what you remember
Yes.
from today's
Yes.
lesson. Number
And
2.
some people say that people helped others more in the past than they do now. Do you agree or disagree? This is agreement or
Disagreement or agreement,
agreement? Yes.
but this is called evaluate questions.
Evaluate.
You have to
Okay.
evaluate and say whether you agree or disagree. Next.
Some people say that working from home will be quite common in the future. Do you agree? This is also evaluate.
No, this is about future or evaluate at the same time, right? It's kind of a double. Yeah, so it's about future. Yeah.
And also, yes.
And about evaluation. Yes, you can use both. You can mix them. It will be wonderful if you use the expressions from both.
How does advertising influence what people choose to buy? How does advertising what people choose to buy? There's also opinion. How does advertising influence what
You can say your opinion about it.
Yes.
Choose to buy. So let's see what it says. Number 4, and cause and effect question.
Cause and effect. Okay.
Because as a result, resulted in, so on.
Okay.
Next one.
If you could choose any country to live in, where would you choose? Yes, this
hypothetical.
What?
Hypothetical. Hypothetical.
Hypothetical, yes.
Or imaginary situation.
Yes.
Second conditional is used here, right?
Yes, second conditional, yes. Do you think primary school children should learn a second language, or should they wait until secondary school? Do you think learn a language? It's also opinion. First of all, after that, children should learn secondary. They won't until secondary school.
So opinion, yes, and also it can be compare and contrast. Like it's better to learn here than there. It's cheaper. It's also children are lazier. Okay.
How has teaching changed in your country over the past few decades? This also compare. I think it's comparison. How has teaching changed in your country over the past few decades, and also opinion and
compare, contrast, opinion, and past.
Okay, the past few decades.
Right? It's about a past few decades. You can say it has been changing, or you can talk about something that was completed in the past. You can use past simple here. You can say something happened before another past action using past perfect. You can talk about past habits using used to or would plus infinitive. Anything. You can just use the mixture here. Okay. And why I'm saying this, because I want you to do it as a homework, this one. But before you go through all the material one more time and try to fix them all in your head, at least one expression from one list. Okay, so try to memorize one expression only, so that while you are speaking, you feel free to use them. Okay, you don't think a lot. And also do this one. Okay, this one is with examples. Like you go again, this is part 3. No, part 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you can see the questions, you can see the answers. At the same time, you can read the answers, but you can give your own answers. Do not copy the one that is written there.
I didn't have account in Contact, but when you send me the link, I can open it.
Really? Wonderful. Then you can open this one too. Okay, that's it for now. Questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
have to run now, so I will send you all this information later today. Okay, so have a great day and see you.
Thank you.
Already when?
On Friday
Friday. You're right.
at 2
At
a.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a daytime. PM. AM 알아보나. 2
10
a.m. is
a.m.
Michelle.
Okay. Okay.
No need to have a lesson at 2 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, have a
Okay,
great
thank
day.
you.
Good luck with your
You
work.
too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.